The church smelled of roses and candle wax, and the air buzzed with whispers. Guests filled the pews, dressed in silk and velvet, their eyes glued to the altar. My hands trembled inside the lace gloves as I held the bouquet tighter than I should have. This wasn't supposed to be my wedding. These weren't supposed to be my vows. But here I was, walking toward a groom who wasn't mine, a groom I was marrying on behalf of my best friend. "Please, Anna," she had begged me just 2 nights before, her voice cracking with desperation. "I can't do it. I can't face him. You're the only one who can help me." At first, I thought it was a cruel joke, a runaway bride's excuse. But she was serious. Her family's honor, her future, her reputation, it all hung in the balance. And somehow, in her eyes, the solution was me. Me standing at the altar, veiled and silent, taking vows that weren't meant for me. I should have said no. I should have walked away. But instead, I whispered the word that sealed my fate. Yes. I thought I was saving her life. I never realized I was about to shatter mine. The organ began to play, slow and haunting, as the doors creaked open. My steps echoed against the marble floor. I lifted my eyes to the altar, and my heart stopped. The groom turned, his face revealed under the glow of the stained glass, and in that moment, the world spun. My knees almost gave out. It was him, Ethan Hayes, my first love, my only love, the boy who had once been my everything, and then my heartbreak. I felt the air punch out of my chest, my throat tightened, the bouquet shook in my grip. I hadn't seen him in years, not since the night he walked away, leaving behind promises we swore would never break. And now here he was, standing in a black tuxedo, waiting at the altar, for me, for a marriage that wasn't even meant to be mine. Our eyes locked. Shock flickered across his face, for just a second, quickly replaced by confusion. He masked it well for the crowd, but I saw it. I knew that look. He recognized me too. Every step closer felt like stepping back into the past. Memories assaulted me. The nights we spent under the stars, the laughter in the rain, the way he once whispered that I was his forever. My chest ached with the weight of it. I wanted to run, I wanted to scream, but I walked on, each step dragging me closer to the man I had loved and lost. When we reached the altar, his hands brushed mine as he took the bouquet away. The touch burned, electric, familiar. My breath caught. He flinched too, ever so slightly, like the years between us had vanished in an instant. The priest's voice echoed around us, calling for silence. My best friend's family smiled proudly from the front row, oblivious to the storm raging between us. No one knew the truth. No one knew the past we carried. No one but us. "Do you, Anna, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband?" My lips trembled. The words stuck in my throat. Ethan's eyes bored into mine, searching, questioning, pleading silently for an explanation. He didn't know. He couldn't know why I was here, and I couldn't tell him. Not now. Not ever. I do. The lie slid from my tongue like poison. The ring slid onto my finger like a shackle. The kiss never came. He brushed his lips against my cheek instead. Polite, distant, but his hand lingered on mine, tight, unyielding, almost like he was saying, "This isn't over." The crowd erupted in applause. My heart erupted in pain. The reception blurred into noise and color. People danced, laughed, congratulated. I smiled on cue, but inside I was unraveling. Every glance from Ethan seared through me. Every stolen look whispered the same unspoken truth. We had unfinished business. He tried to act the perfect groom, hand at the small of my back, words polite and practiced. But when no one was watching, his fingers dug into my palm, his jaw clenched, his voice a whisper against my ear. Why you? 3 words, simple, sharp. And I had no answer. I turned away, but memories followed me like shadows. The summer we first met, when I spilled coffee on his shirt and he laughed instead of cursing. The night we kissed on the rooftop with city lights flickering below. The plans we made, the promises whispered in the dark. I remembered the way he held me like I was the only girl in the universe. And then I remembered the night it all ended. The phone call that shattered everything, his silence after, the way he disappeared without a goodbye. I thought I'd buried it. I thought I'd buried him. But here he was, breathing, real, mine again, and not mine at all. The night grew heavy with wine and music. I slipped away to the garden, desperate for air. The moon hung low, shadows stretching across the grass, and then I felt him behind me. Anna. His voice was a dagger, smooth and cutting. I turned, and there he was. No crowd, no witnesses, just us. His eyes were darker in the moonlight, his jaw tight with questions. "What are you doing here?" he demanded. I swallowed hard. I can't explain. You're supposed to be her friend, so why are you standing here as my wife? His tone cracked, torn between anger and something else, something softer. I looked away, tears burning my lashes, because she asked me to, because she couldn't. He laughed bitterly. "So you're telling me this marriage, this day, this vow, it's all a lie?" I wanted to scream yes. I wanted to tell him the truth. But instead, I whispered, "It's complicated." His hand shot out, gripping my wrist. "No, Anna, it's not complicated. It's you. It's always been you." The words froze me. My chest heaved. My heart betrayed me, aching for what I had once lost. But before I could respond, the sound of footsteps broke the moment. A guest calling our names, dragging us back into the lie. Ethan released me, but his eyes said what his lips couldn't. "This isn't finished." The night ended with champagne toasts and false smiles. We played the part of bride and groom, but the truth simmered beneath every glance, every silence. When we finally retreated to the suite prepared for us, my body shook with dread. I closed the door, turned the lock, and leaned against it. He was there, silent, watching me. Neither of us spoke for a long time. The air was heavy, suffocating. Finally, he broke it. "I don't know why you're here, Anna, but I swear I'll find out, because fate doesn't make mistakes like this." His words lingered long after the lights went out. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, my heart racing, married to a man I once loved, still loved, maybe always would. Married to him for reasons he didn't know. Married into a lie that could burn us both. And deep down, I knew one thing for certain. This was only the beginning, because what came next would change everything. The morning after the wedding was suffocating. The room was quiet, but silence had never felt this loud. Ethan sat on the edge of the bed, still in his shirt from last night, staring at the floor as if it had all the answers. I stayed near the window, clutching the curtains, afraid that if I turned, he would see the storm in my eyes. Finally, he spoke. "Anna, I need the truth. Why did Sophia disappear? Why are you here instead of her?" The question stabbed through me. I had no words strong enough to explain, no lie strong enough to hold. So I stayed silent, my back to him. He let out a bitter laugh. "Unbelievable! After all these years, after everything we had, you're still a ghost." That word, ghost, it pierced deeper than he knew, because once I had been his forever, and then I became nothing at all. The days that followed were a war of silence and stolen glances. We lived under the same roof, ate at the same table, played the roles of husband and wife in front of his new family, but behind closed doors, we were strangers. Except strangers don't feel the burn of old love. Strangers don't notice the way someone still makes tea the exact way you like it. Strangers don't stay awake at night, listening to the rhythm of the other's breath, wishing it was closer. Every touch was forbidden. Every word carried weight. Yet something unspoken kept pulling us together. One evening, as the rain hammered against the windows, I found him in the study, nursing a glass of whiskey. His tie was undone, his sleeves rolled up. He looked older, sharper, but when he lifted his gaze, I saw the same boy who once promised me the world. "You still bite your lip when you're nervous," he said softly. My heart skipped. I didn't realize I was doing it. I turned away, embarrassed. But then he rose, crossed the room, and stood behind me. "Tell me one thing, Anna," he whispered, close enough that I felt the heat of his breath. "Did you ever stop loving me?" The air froze. My throat closed. I wanted to scream, "No, I never stopped, not for a second." But before I could answer, footsteps echoed down the hall. I pulled back, creating distance, shoving the truth deep inside. He clenched his fists, but said nothing. The tension grew unbearable. Every day felt like drowning, until one night the truth broke through. I found him in the kitchen alone, his head in his hands. The weight of something heavy pressed on him. I sat across from him, trembling. He looked up, his eyes raw. "She doesn't love me, does she?" His voice cracked. "Sophia, that's why she ran. That's why she sent you instead." Tears pricked my eyes. I wanted to deny it, but I couldn't. "No," I whispered. "She never did." His jaw tightened. His eyes glistened. "Then why? Why did she let this happen?" I swallowed hard. "Because she knew. I still did." The words hung in the air like fire. For a moment, neither of us breathed. Then slowly, he reached for my hand, and I didn't pull away. That night, the wall between us cracked. His lips brushed mine, hesitant, searching, and the years melted away. It was reckless, dangerous, forbidden, but it felt inevitable, like coming home after being lost for too long. But fate is cruel, because the very next morning, Sophia returned. She stormed into the house, her hair wild, her eyes blazing. "Ethan, Anna!" Her voice cut through the walls. We rushed into the living room, guilt still heavy on our skin. She looked at me first, then at him. Her lips trembled. "I made a mistake. I shouldn't have run. Ethan, let's fix this. Divorce her. Be with me." The room tilted. My best friend, the girl I had sacrificed everything for, stood there demanding the life I had accidentally stumbled into. Ethan's jaw hardened. His eyes darted to me, then back to her. The silence stretched, suffocating, before he finally spoke. "No." Her face crumbled. "What?" "I won't divorce her," he said firmly, "because the truth is, I never wanted you. It's always been Anna." My breath caught. My heart raced. Sophia's eyes filled with fury, betrayal, disbelief. She spun to me, her voice a dagger. "You were supposed to protect me. You were supposed to be my friend." Tears blurred my vision. "I tried, Sophia, I did. But sometimes fate doesn't ask for permission." The silence that followed was heavy, broken only by her sobs as she fled the house. When the door slammed shut, Ethan turned to me. His hand found mine. His voice was steady, sure. "We've lost too much time already. I'm not letting you go again." My heart swelled, breaking and healing all at once. I knew the road ahead would be full of chaos, whispers, and judgment, but in that moment, none of it mattered.
because for the first time in years, we were exactly where we were meant to be. And deep inside, I knew the truth. Some stories don't end with betrayal. Some stories circle back to where they began. Some loves are written in fire, in scars, in destiny itself. This was ours, because sometimes, against all odds, first love becomes forever.